The relation is always represented by this. This is a relation, and a relation is mostly suppose that an entity is connected to itself. An entity is connected to itself. For example, suppose that a number of employees are there in your college. A number of employees are there in the college, and suppose that you have an employee database. The principal is an employee, then HOD is an employee, then all other faculty members are employees. In that case, some employees managing some employees, HODs manage other employees, then principal manage the HODs and likewise. That means suppose that you have a managers relationship. Suppose that you have a managers relationship. Suppose that you have, this is the employee entity. As far as a college is concerned, suppose that you have such a relationship. That means employee manages employee. Employee manages employee means all staff members, all employees of this college constitute the employee database, and in that employee database someone manages some other employee, some employee manages some other employee. So in that case, this is a unary relationship. Managers is a unary relationship. Here only one entity and the relationship. Only one entity constitutes this relationship. That is unary relationship. Suppose that you have a binary relation, like suppose the employee manages, suppose that here student. Here employee manages student means here a number of, suppose that your staff advisor is the employee and he or she manages a number of students. In that case, the employee student relationship is, in that case, managers relationship is binary. That means this managers constitute, that is connecting two entities. That means employee entity and student entity. That means an employee manages student. In that case, this manages is a relationship which constitutes two entities. It is connecting two entities. That is called a binary relationship. Binary relationship. This is a binary relationship. And what do you mean by ternary relationship? Suppose that a tourist is, and this is the flights database, and this there is in between, this is the booking agent. Suppose that, and this is the operation is, relationship is air ticket booking. Suppose that you are booking an air ticket, then what will happen? A tourist is approaching a booking agent and he is going to book a ticket in some flight. That means in that case, this tourist is a stakeholder, the booking agent is a stakeholder, and the flights database is another stakeholder. In that case, this is a ternary relationship. This is a ternary relationship. Okay. As a relationship is concerned, so we are having student is related to course. That means student is enrolled for course. And here student is an entity, course is an entity, and student is enrolled for the course. A student can enroll for multiple courses and multiple students can attend the same course. Okay, that is why here we are going to have another term which we are going to discuss, that is cardinality, means specifies the minimum or maximum number of relationship instances an entity can participate in. That means here this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value. That means here a student can, suppose that a student is not enrolled for any course, he can still exist in the database. Okay, suppose that a student record is there in the database, even if he is not enrolled for a particular course, he can exist. That's why here the meaning is that here the minimum cardinality here I have given is 0. That means even if he is not registered for any course, then still the student record can exist. But here, see, here in the case of course, if a course has to exist, at least there should be a single student enrolled for that. That's why in this relation, at least one relationship, that means at least one entry or at least one student has to join this course, otherwise this does not exist. That means here this is the student enrolled for and this is the course. A student is, and suppose that this is the enrolled for relationship, a student is enrolled for a course, he is enrolled for another course and he is enrolled for another course. That means a student can enroll for multiple courses, and here see this course is attended by this student and this student, and this course is attended by this student and this student. Okay, so in that way, here the cardinality means the minimum or maximum. This is the minimum and this is the maximum. Minimum and maximum number of relationship. Actually, this is the relationship. Minimum or maximum number of relationship a particular entity has to take part. So that is cardinality specifies the minimum or maximum number of relationship instances. Here these are relationship instances. An entity can participate in. Here minimum cardinality 0 means the entity can exist without participation in the relation. That is why here I have given 0. For example, here also, here a PhD scholar is assigned to PhD thesis. For example, suppose that we have a PhD thesis, definitely some PhD scholar is associated with that. Okay, but PhD scholar, suppose that there is a PhD scholar and still he can exist without assigning a PhD. Suppose that he has not written his PhD thesis, then he is not assigned to that PhD thesis. But suppose a PhD thesis exists, then there should be a writer or designer for that. So that means, that is why here you have one means, here for a PhD thesis, it should be assigned to at least one PhD scholar and at most one PhD scholar. That means here the assumption or constraint we have given is a PhD thesis is written by a PhD scholar. That means it is a one-to-one relationship. But here, suppose that a PhD scholar is there and he is going to write the PhD thesis. Till now he has not written the thesis. So in that case, the PhD scholar can exist, that record can exist even if he is not related to PhD thesis. That is why we have given the minimum cardinality as 0 and maximum cardinality as 1. Here minimum is 1 and maximum is 1 means if there is a PhD thesis, there should be a writer and at most one writer. That means more than one writer is not expected. Okay, so that is minimum cardinality. What about maximum cardinality? Maximum cardinality is 1. Entity can be connected to at most one other entity. N means entity can be connected to at most n other entities. That's why here, suppose that an employee works on a project, and here the assumption is that an employee can work on at most one project. That means in two or more projects he cannot be assigned. That means if he has an employee, he can be assigned to only one project. That's why here an employee can exist even if he is not take part in any projects, but he can be assigned to only one project. That is our assumption. That is why here I have given 0 and 1. And work zone means if a project has to exist, at least one employee should be assigned to that project. And at most n number means that n can you can choose that your own way. So this is actually this is an m by n relationship. That means here we have m is to n. That means here multiple. That means many to many. If you are taking a relationship in set theory point of view, this is an m to n relationship. Here there is a one to one relationship, one to one, and here we have one to many. So this is not a one to many. So actually we are having many to one. That means many employees to one. That means n to one. Okay. So when we are designing this is one way of representing this. This is one way of representing this. Another way of representing this relationship is, instead of here I have given minimum and maximum cardinality, here minimum and maximum cardinality, here minimum and maximum, minimum and maximum, minimum maximum and minimum maximum. And if you are deleting this, so another representation is, instead of giving 0 and here minimum and maximum cardinality, minimum and maximum cardinality, in writing in another way. That means what kind of a relationship is this, if you want to find out. So here this is taking, that means n is taking part here and m is taking, that is maximum m here and maximum n here. You have to write this n here and you have to write this m here. Okay, that is, this is an n by m relationship. N is to m or m relationship. Here what is the maximum value here? 1, and that you have to put here. This is maximum value 1 that you have to put here. That is why this is a 1:1 relationship. Here the maximum value is 1, that you have to write here. What is the maximum value here? N. That means this is an n by 1 relationship. This is 1:1 and this is n:m relationship. Or in other terms, this is many to many, this is 1 to 1, and this is many to 1 relationship. Many employees are connected to a single project. Here a PhD scholar is assigned to a PhD thesis, and here what about this? A student can take part in multiple courses and a course can have multiple students. So it's a many to many relationship. Okay, so that's about relationships and how this can be entered. That means two types of representations are there. When you are writing entity relationship model as a graphical diagram, you can see here, if they are writing only one symbol here, that means that is in this way, as I already told you. Here, if this representation they are given, that means this is maximum cardinality and this is minimum cardinality. This is maximum, minimum, and this is maximum. If in another way, if n and m are given here, then it represents an n:m relationship. Okay. Now, relationship types are often characterized by their maximum cardinalities. Maximum cardinalities only, that is 1:1, n:1, 1:n, and m:1.